This is a Vanity Calamity. Now, I'm on console, so I don't have access to the PTB. The PTB is today for the Walking Dead chapter. Now, I watched videos on the chapter already, and I'm going to talk about the perks in particular here. Some of the perks that's coming in this Walking Dead chapter, they're not really the strongest on their own, but I feel like the stack potential of them is going to become quite ridiculous. I feel like things like Swifts and Bully Squads will be able to utilize these perks in a way that completely breaks the game. For example here, let's go over some of them here. Apocalyptic Ingenuity. This one, you search for 2 chests, or rummage through 2 chests. You don't even have to open it. And you unlock the ability to fix broken pallets. You create a fragile pallet, kind of like how the anniversary event has its pallets where they drop them and they break. Now, this is a perk that I feel will become extremely broken, especially when compared with, or when mixed with other perks. That, for example, like, well, in Swifts, you know, they'll be able to tell people where to go for these chests. They stack up on this perk, and they just can keep repairing chests. That is going, or not chests, keep repairing pallets. That is going to become extremely strong amongst Bully Squads. It's already, like, it's considered, it's okay on its own because, you know, it breaks and that's that, but if a survivor know how to use these pallets properly, this will become extremely strong. Like, just imagine the shack pallet. You got the base shack pallet, then you got survivors repairing it 4 other times. That's 5 times you have to deal with the shack pallet. That can become extremely powerful in the right hands. Come and Get Me, I don't think it's that crazy. That one's pretty okay. I mean, it's an anti-tunnel. So, I mean, is it bad? No. I mean, it's going to be good for the anti-tunnel. But I don't think it's, like, ridiculously powerful. I mean, it has power to work with other perks to make it more powerful. But I don't think on its own it's going to be crazy. Toughen Up. Teamwork Toughen Up. When another survivor pallet stuns or blinds you, the killer while you are injured or within 24 meters, your grunts of pain and scratch marks and pools of blood are reduced by 100% for 30 seconds. Now this one, it's going to be pretty good in my eyes. It's simple, yes. But, you know, it'd make it much harder for a killer to find you after your teammate helps you. Which will be very strong for the Bully Squads too, because then that would prevent killers from targeting out one of the people. Which, with Bully Squads, there's very little counterplay as is against them. Because they usually tend to cover all the bases. And I'll go after the other ones after the match here. But that covers the Rick Grimes ones there. Now, the real powerful ones are with Michonne. She's got the real strong ones. Now, Rick's got some pretty strong ones too. But Michonne's takes basically almost what Rick perks are and then quadruples the power of them. Yeah, this main building's rough. Fuck. First game of the day. Need warming up here, but. Oh, I don't know where the other guy's at. Alright, screw it. Oh, he's over here. Or is this back to it? Okay, it is. Well. What the fuck? Damn. That's good. Oh, that's good. I agree in that. This ain't going good though. It's going rough. I would have went in for another person if there was actually another person to go for, but they're all hiding. Fuck. Oh, okay, that hit. I know they're at. They're over here. That didn't break the pallet. What the fuck did I hit there? I did not hit that bush. I don't know, Bill's kind of wants tunneled, I think. He's kind of asking for it. Oh well, I'll just get Bill out here. Fuck it. There we go. I need to check some of these other gens. I have potential for a 3-gen here. She's still here. No, that's... Well, they're both still here. Okay. Well, you're out. You're dead, so... Damn, that hard. up here. Fuck. Oh, motherfucker. Seen her at the last second. This ain't good. I don't see any lights on that. Wait, I could still grab the event thing? I thought that was supposed to stop. After... Pretty sure that's supposed to stop. Or maybe it's after the door's open. I don't know. She's dead. It's now or never. Oh shit. That was rough. But I still managed to get 3K. That's not bad. And that was my first game of the day, so, you know. Okay. Now let's talk about the conviction. After you have healed one survivor while downed with at least 25% recovery progress, you can get back up. You can recover instantly, and you gain the broken status effect and then you're downed after 30 seconds. Now, this one will be very strong for bully squads because they will go down under pallets, they will harass the killer, they will basically make it so the killer knows they can't pick up. This one, after only 25%, they could just get back up. And that will be extremely strong on anti-slug. Because it would allow the survivors to just keep going with the chase. Go down underneath a pallet, you know, pallet stun the killer when you get up, and then take off. And then after 30 seconds, now the killer can chase you for the next 30 seconds, which will be, you know, like, yeah, after 30 seconds you go down again, but when you go down again, where are you going to go down at? Obviously, if you're swift, you're with a bully squad, you're going to go down underneath a pallet. If they have the perk last stand, which we'll get into, They could go down next to a window. If they got flashbangs, they go down. They could go down in the open for flashlight saves. They could go down anywhere. Head on could get you. They could have one wing and a locker. There's so many potentials with that to help just keep spam saving somebody. That and the counter to that kind of playstyle where Blue Squads will sit there and harass the killer to prevent them from having a chance to pick up or even hook is to slug. That's the counter for that. This erases slugging. This makes slugging, if the survivors have this perk, that makes slugging very, very not viable at all. Because then now you're engaging with at least a 30-second more chase that might end with them being saved again. Now, Last Stand. As the game currently is, there's very few safe options for killers to actually pick somebody up, right? Flashbangs could get you in front of a wall, so walls aren't exactly safe if you got people with flashbangs. You got pallets are unsafe. They've always been unsafe. You've got so many different options that are unsafe. Open areas are unsafe because they get flashlight save. Lockers in front of lockers are unsafe because they could head on. But with Last Stand, this now makes windows unsafe too. So that means there is really no safe way for survivors or for a killer to pick up a survivor. Because Last Stand, now, it only works once, but when you have a team of 4, if they're all using this perk, that means, a lot of times it's very common when you're getting into a chase, you down somebody as they're trying to vault a window. That's not uncommon. So, and usually by a window there's a wall. So you can have a wall to look at. Well, if these other survivors don't have flashbangs, if they just have, say, Last Stand, they have to wait till you pick up, and they could just vault the window and stun you. And who knows, they might even toss down a flashbang while they're at it too for the extra troll. Which would tie into other perks, like Toughen Up and such. Or even Throwdown, which is the next perk on the list here. Teamwork Throwdown. When you pallet stun or blind killer, other injured survivors within 24 meters gain endurance and see the killer's aura for 10 seconds. Now this means that, when your teammates your teammate could have this perk on. They could come by, flashbang the killer, use Last Stand on the killer, head on the killer, flashlight the killer. Now the killer gets stunned, and now the person who is injured and was just on the killer's shoulder now has endurance. So it's basically like borrowed time before you even touch the hook. Which is pretty crazy. And they have aura reading. And it affects anybody in the 24-meter radius. That is extremely strong in my eyes. Because on top of some other perks that can combo with that, you've also just basically given borrow time before even they touch a hook. And borrowed time, as you already know, is pretty strong. This is an anti-tunnel perk before they even hooked anybody. This is an anti-don't chase the person hook perk. Because obviously if you get stunned and someone knocks off your shoulder, the person you're usually going to go for is the person who is just on your shoulder because they're injured already. in my eyes, that is like that will become so broken that probably is one of the stronger perks on this list. Conviction and Throwdown, and Apocalyptic Ingenuity, I think, are the 3 strongest perks on this list because they all help. Like, all of them are strong if they're abused. But these 3 in particular, because Last Stand only works once, right? So, it can only be used 4 times. Now, those 4 times, I do feel like they could make and break the game, right? Because just in those 4 times, you could already be having a rough game, right? You could already have 3 gens done in 1 hook. Or 2 hooks. But this one, yeah, that thing could completely keep you from doing what you need to do. I think this is a team here. I think all 3 of them were in there except one. That one might be random. Okay. Oh boy. Really? I'm a semi-stealth killer and a big closer. Is this guy going next? I guess not. They shouldn't really have any gens progressed yet, especially since I've seen 2 of them messing about with the event. Which I need to grab myself too. Yeah. Though I do not hate the map here. This is a killer side of the map. Damn, they are actually making some pretty progress though. Where's she going? There ain't nothing over here. I don't think she knows the map very well. What the fuck? What are they doing over there? Are they just crying? Boo-hoo! It's skull marching. Okay, this person's fucking good. This is... Damn, that was rough. Long chase. Actually, I think she's my last pain rest too, so... Regress that. That was not the most highest gen. That's not good. Okay. This ain't fucking shit, dude. It's a sweat fest queue. And they wonder why killers camp in tunnel. This is fucking why. Fuck. Sweaty bastards. No. Yeah. Because killers need more. Fucking survivors need more buffs, man. Fuck. What's the day? Tuesday. Usually weekends are where all the sweaty people come out, but it looks like they're out today, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, that was a Swift too. You could tell. I fucking knew it. I probably should have dodged. Yeah, queue times are pretty rough right now. Well, maybe when the new chapter drops with well, the Walking Dead one here, we'll get more people on Survivor side. Killer queue times can be better. Springtrap kind of broke the game a bit. It also doesn't help, like, just, I don't know. Behavior's also made some pretty stupid decisions. They keep making stupid decisions. I wonder who the next killer's going to be. Is it the next killer or the killer after that that's going to be original? I think the next killer is going to be the original one. I could be wrong though. Let me look it up. the roadmap. $2025. Okay, so yeah, September we're getting a new chapter, original chapter with a killer. And then there will be a licensed one in November with 2 survivors and 1 killer. I hope it's a cool one. I hope it doesn't suck. My hopes are not very well met, though. Like, my hopes of an actual good killer original coming out is not very high. But because Behavior seems to have forgotten how to make killers, and they just make slop, recycled. And when they do create interesting killers, they listen to, survivors who just don't like mechanics that the killer might have, so they nerf them to the ground. Skull Merchant, Kaneki, yeah. They're annoying. I don't like to play against them. I want to go next. Nerf them to fucking nothing. Kaneki's bugged right now, though. It's pretty rough. Oh, we got GTV. I wonder if they're live. SRA. Sir. They are live. Interesting. Going to put my screen recorder on and mute my phone. I always have. One thing I like to do is I like to I make it so I'm not cheating, right? So I have my phone upside down and it's recording her gameplay, her Twitch. And one thing I like to do is I like to go back and watch it after the match and then see what they said. Or, plus it's good to say GG and things like that. If they're, good enough to, if they deserve a GG. Like, not everybody's equal. Damn. Smart. What is she doing? Is she going next on me? Is that what we're doing? Or is someone in this locker? No? Okay. That's my assumption. I have to keep an eye on that one Jill. I don't know if she's trying to go next on me or whatnot. She might just realize she was screwed and just gave up, but didn't see a point in trying to juke it. It's not like I'm running a real serious build or anything like that. Okay. Who do I need a hook? I almost said hex. Who do I need a hex? I need to hook the other Sable. Oof. They're all upstairs. You know what? I could kind of 3-gen just down here, I think. Did I hear somebody here? What are y'all doing? Just gonna leave her at the second hook? Instantly back on the gen, right? Bold move. You know what? I should probably put a little hat on her head. It's about that time. I kind of don't want her there because I think she's dead. Yeah, if I would have hooked her there, I wouldn't have that hook with her later. I need to go for the obsession. I think that's a better play. Get that fifth stack. There's that Sable I need to hook. But they're pumping this gen pretty good. Should have ran straight. Probably would have been a better option. Oh shit, I need to put the trap on our head. Oh, do I not have... Oh shit, there's a hook right there. Fuck it, I don't care. Or do I care? I guess I do care. I need that stack. Please don't wiggle out. Well, that means traps are active now. Greedy, greedy survivors. They broke my 3-gen too, that's not good. You can't even tell she's got that trap on her head because of the hat. You know, I don't want to slug too long. Kind of want to play it out a little bit. For the funs of it. I'll let him. For the fun of it. I never actually... I made this build and I never get to the fucking end game. Everyone's always dead before I get to that point. That or they just completely, like, bum rush it and get out. I wonder if I could just hide in the grass a little bit. This might be funny. You've only been hooked once, I can hook you again. That's no problem. Oh, wait. Never mind. I thought... Did I seriously already hook her 3 times? I thought she was only hooked once. Huh. Well, comes down to this. I hear it. Victory is mine! She can't leave. She's got the trap on her head. She's had it on her head for a while now. I bet she's probably getting close to dead. Oh, yep. It said GG's. It said GG's in the in-game chat, but consoles don't have that, so we can't say that back here. Because on PC they have like a thing here. I don't know why they haven't added that. I wish they would just add that. It'd be so nice to just say GG right here, or just see Salt comments here, because I play Skull Merchant the most. But this is where I'll end stream for the day. We had some good matches, we had some bad, but yeah. I plan to basically be a Skull Merchant main until they rework, or the rework preview they gave is, I hate it. It's so insulting. They even sit there and dog down on Skull Merchant mains. Like, they sit there and Actually, there's a VFX artist right now who is getting a lot of hate because for the anniversary event they have like comments from like people at Behavior, and this VFX artist, right, said I also hate Skull Merchant, and people went off on her for it. She ended up having to like mute her whole thing, like disable everything. But it's on her like I don't know if it was like Twitter or whatnot. I don't have Twitter, so I don't know what they. But she had to basically remove comments and things like that, private her account or something, which I think is a little bit overboard for a VFX artist. Like that's not really. She's a nobody in terms of like the rework or anything like that. She's just a nobody in that terms. So I think it was a little. I don't think she should have gotten that much harassment. Though I get this sentiment. Like I do get why people are doing it though. I mean, Skull Merchant. People who like Skull Merchant have a justified reason to be pissed. It's just taking it out on the wrong person isn't exactly good either. You know what I mean? Two wrongs don't make a right. Attacking a VFX artist because she granted shares a sentiment probably other people who actually do matter at Behavior share. Like because when they proposed their rework, the preview of it literally states Skull Merchant players will hate this. They're not even like, don't even care. They don't give a fuck about Skull Merchant mains. Zero care. It's pretty messed up. There ain't nothing good to say about Behavior really. Pretty rough. I'm definitely mad about it. I don't understand why other people are mad about it. They basically give us a killer. People like this killer. She's a very unique killer. Nothing like her in the game. Nerf this killer. Granted, I'll give credit where credit's due. First few nerfs, okay, good. You know, you shouldn't have 40-minute matches because a killer is strong enough to hold those 40-minute matches. So yeah, maybe the first couple nerfs were okay, right? But then she got to a good spot. But people, instead of like getting over it and like, hey, yeah, she's nerfed, she's no longer that strong anymore. They're like, no, we still don't like her. Go next. And then they fucking kill themselves on hooks and things like that. And cry to Behavior that she's too strong. When they're the ones just dying on the hook because they don't want to play against her. She's too strong. I die every time. Because you're killing yourself on the hook. It's pathetic. And Behavior is pathetic cowards who listen to that. And they nerfed her into the ground. And their whole thing is, we don't want players to play her, so we're going to make her as bad as possible to prevent players from playing her. Now, I still do think there is... The way she is right now, she is incredibly weak. But I do still think there is a slither of power there, right? There is something there. People say she's a killer without a power because of how weak it is. I don't think that's quite the case. I do think that she still does have some power, just very little of it. Like, people say she's an F-tier killer, and that she's the worst in the game. And, yeah, probably. Like... But at the same point in time, I also say, like, if you can play her, like, she's not exactly just a killer you pick up and just easily play, I don't think. Because then you will feel powerless with her. You have to know little tricks and tactics, and then you can actually feel kind of good about it. So I wouldn't say she's exactly like awful, completely ruined. Um, but yeah, she is weak. She is my main. She's my favorite. She has that playstyle I like. I like that kind of like passive kind of setup kind of style. That's what I like. And so it's kind of unfortunate that. And then with the rework, they want to make her a projectile killer, which is like, don't we have enough of that? Like literally, don't we have enough projectile killers in the game? Do we really need to take a killer that's not a projectile killer, one that's unique and different, and then turn her into a projectile killer? I don't want to I don't want to RCXD my fucking drones. I don't want to shoot a projectile from my drone into survivors. Like manually do that. I want the game does that with the claw trap. I want to stick with the game that does that. I'm not wanting RCXD. It's pretty crap. And the thing is I bet you, like, if they make the RCXD thing and they do go through with this rework, it's probably gonna feel like Cenobite. Cenobite's like, okay, yeah, people can be good with him, but at the same point in time, his chain feels awful to use. It's so crap. And I don't want to see Skull Merchant be that way either. Not to mention, I just don't like the idea of, like, I like the idea of scanning people and then catching them on GPS. I like that a lot better. And I like that once they get the claw trap, like, I like that my drones can hinder them. Like, I like that. That means I can use my drone at pallets and loops to hinder the survivor and to help me catch up to them and get them. I can kind of force them off loops or with my drone and hinder them to make it so they have issues getting to the next loop. That's really cool. So I think Skull Merchant still does have potential as she is, but I wish her drones could scan a little bit better. Like, instead of just reworking her into some garbage nobody wants, how about we just give her the second scan line back? Give her the second scan line back. That means it would be a whole lot easier to get scans on people and get the claw traps on them. There we go. I fixed Skull Merchant. She's so, like, she's C tier at that point. No, she wouldn't be crazy strong, but she'd be C, maybe low C at that point with the second scan line. But it's unfortunate because she is a cool character. And I don't want to see her get ruined. And that's why I'm hoping that, like, for the next chapters coming out, especially the original one, I'd prefer an original. I like original characters better, to be honest. Simply for the fact that, A, they get more skins, B, I feel like there's more freedom there, right? Like, if you've never played, like, I don't know, let's say you never played, or for an example, let's say you don't like the Saw movies, or, well, how about this one? Since I actually don't like the 2010 remake of A Nightmare on Elm Street, it was pretty garbage. I like the original, but the original, like, 4 were good. The remake was, or was it the original 3? No, 4, yeah. The original 4 were good. The remake was complete trash. So, yeah, let's say Nightmare on Elm Street here with the 2010 Freddy. Let's say you don't like it or you don't know that movie. You're not really going to get into that character as much, I don't feel. Like, I love anime, so the Ghoul, even though he's a playstyle I don't like dash killers. I'm not a fan of that kind of playstyle like that. But, you know, because I like characters like Skull Merchant or Singularity or Hag. But I like the Ghoul a lot because he is Kaneki or Rize. I like him for the character rather than the power. And I feel like I don't want to really play a character that might have a power I like, but don't care about the movie or game or whatever they came from as much. Like Freddy, he's a 2010 version, he's a remake, and it's just kind of like, oh, well, it's 2010 Freddy, ooh, kind of crap. Or Quentin, I don't ever play Quentin Smith. Well, if it was like Nancy from the original, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's Nancy from Friday, or, you know, it's Nancy from A Nightmare on Elm Street, original Nightmare on Elm Street. And then that would be something completely different. Or, what's her name? Alice? I think she was in like the fourth movie. Because that was my favorite one, the fourth one. That would be really cool. But no, it's Quentin Smith and 2010 Freddy. Which makes it kind of lame. But I don't know, I hope the next original character is one with a setup power, kind of like Skull Merchant, like in the same respects as Skull Merchant. Not exactly Skull Merchant, per se, right? But, like, well, or maybe they could do exactly like Skull Merchant because they're planning on getting rid of Skull Merchant, but at that point, why would they get rid of Skull Merchant? But, I don't know. I wish they would, like, give us a killer that's actually good with a setup power, a more passively used power, because all they want to do is this dash killer or teleport killers now. Teleport, dash, and that's about it these days. Or projectile. They don't want to do setups anymore. They haven't done setups in years. I think I looked it up there, and I think Singularity was 2023. That's been we'll be rolling on 3 years, and not too crazy long, the year's halfway over. Yeah. But, we'll see what the next, September brings. It's September, right? Pretty sure it was. Yeah, September. Or November. We don't even know what November is going to be yet. It could be something good. We'll have to see, I guess. V8 will be returning in August, it looks like, on the, August and November, 2v8 will return. Which is nice. I wonder who they'll add next. Yeah. I hope... Ironically, I hope they add Skull Merchant. Well, she's my main, so of course I'd want her. Skull Merchant or Kaneki would be the two I'd be hoping for. But I could definitely see Springtrap being added in. He's not really that powerful, and he's just kind of... He's kind of weak. He's a weak killer. I think he would fit right in to 2v8. I don't think they're going to add... I mean, they've already had some mess. Like, I don't know. I'd like to see Skull Merchant in there. But I could definitely see these two. I mean, they're massive chapters. I would be okay with the Ghoul being added, though. I'd be okay with Skull Merchant and the Ghoul. I just want a character that's fun in 2v8. Like, yeah, I used to be really good with the nurse. She was my first main back in the day, but I don't really main her anymore. She's just a really tough killer to play, and I just want to play more chill, I guess. Plus, you know, I like more slower setup killers. I liked Nurse for her aesthetics, because she's that like old style aesthetic of the 19, like early 1900s style. I liked a lot. I want a killer that's like inspired by Elizabeth Bathory. I wanted something from like the 17th century, kind of like luxurious, kind of like I would love a Elizabeth Bathory inspired vampire killer. I think would be really cool. Big, gigantic, poofy, like the poofy dresses that they wore back then, and maybe control over blood, not like Dracula where he controls fire and stuff, but you know, like blood control. And I like it to be more of a setup killer. But that setup killer part is just because I like setup killers. I like it to have some sort of like semi-passive ability. But this is where I'll end it here.